How is it going today? This is your favorite trucker yet again. And I'm here in the northern part of Tennessee. I just left Memphis earlier today, picked up a Blue City Brewery, hauling a load of beer up to La Crosse in Wisconsin. I got a message last week. My wife has got a friend whose husband works in some kind of a managerial capacity at a trucking company in Texas. And they needed 2 company drivers pretty bad. To, kind of sweeten the deal. For me, they wanted me to come work for them, but kind of sweeten the deal is that it's heavy haul, oversized step deck, drop deck, flatbed, which is all experience that I really want to get, because I'm planning on becoming an owner operator, and I really wanted the job bad, and they're willing to hire me. If I go there and I talk to them on this home time, I've pretty much got the job. Pays 50 cents a mile loaded, 25 cents a mile empty, and then more if you do the oversize. And they run about 2,800 to 3,000 miles a week. They put me in an old International until they were confident that I had the ability to drive their trucks, which I'm not even slightly concerned with. And then they were going to trade that old International in for a brand new Peterbilt, and I'd have a 2015 long nose Pete. A 2014 long nose Pete. Man, it's a sweet offer. But I've decided to turn it down. I feel like I'm going to regret turning it down, but let me explain my reasons. When I came into this industry to work, the only experience that I had in driving trucks was 25 years old when I was in the Army. I was in the Army from 1985 to 1988, and that's the only experience that I had in driving these trucks. The trucks that I drove in the Army were Vietnam era trucks. The whole industry has changed, and I didn't know much about the industry itself, back then, except for what I knew from my dad, and that wasn't, a ton. So when I decided to get into truck driving, I didn't have any experience, and I didn't have a CDL. And I did a lot of research, and I settled on Millis because it was a good company. And even though I could have got my CDL training free from other places, I chose to go with Millis, knowing that I was going to pay $500 out of pocket and have to pay $2,000 in payroll deductions. But I made the decision to go with Millis because it's such a good company over the other choices that I had. And I'm not talking bad about the other companies. You've got Swift, and you've got Werner, and you've got Prime, and you've got CR England, and I don't know, there's just a lot of companies that have their own training programs, Knight, and I don't have anything bad to say about any of them. Although I will say that I would rather Swift drivers not park next to me. It's not anything bad against Swift drivers, but god damn it, y'all are all over the internet. Man, quit being so bad all over the internet, and I won't have a problem when you're parking next to me. But, when y'all are all over the internet like that, man, just chose Millis because it's my belief, my very firm belief, that Millis is heads and tails above the rest in their training program and in their school. They're just the best school out there, in my opinion. And when they say opinions are like assholes, everybody's got one, you know. And that's my opinion, and I stand by it. So I chose Millis, and when I chose Millis, I made a commitment. And the commitment that I made was to stick it out for at least a year and, and pay my debt off. And so I have a debt. My debt's $20 a week for 100 weeks. And, I've asked payroll to change my payments from $20 to $50 a week. I don't know if they've done it yet. I'm going to call them and find out today. But even though I've still got a year commitment no matter what, and I'm not done with that year commitment yet. There's me and these damn commitments, it's like this whole financial obligation thing. I could go bankrupt, I owe $20,000 in debt, and I could choose a bankruptcy option and wipe that debt clean. Start all over again from scratch. I wouldn't have to, lose my whole paycheck going to paying off debts. I could be free and clear of all of it except for, one substantial family debt that I'd never try to wipe out. I'm going to pay that one no matter what. But, I just don't feel that's the right thing to do. I made the debt. I made the obligations, and it's my belief that I should honor those obligations and pay for them. Just like I made this obligation to Millis Transfer for a year. Now I've got a better job offer. I've got a job offer that is just so much better than what I'm making here. I would make more money. I would get experience that's invaluable. When I'm done with this commitment with Millis, this opportunity may not be there, and I may have lost this opportunity by turning it down right now. They may not need drivers the way they need them right now. So, right now it's a huge opportunity, and I'm going to turn it down. Turning it down because I made a commitment, and I'm going to honor the commitment that I made. Sometimes, I'd like to kick myself in the ass for kind of having some of the values that I have, because I never get ahead, never come out on top. And I'm going to make this commitment, and I'm going to stick with this commitment, and I'm going to lose this opportunity, and I may not get a chance to get this opportunity back later. I know it's the right thing to do. I know it's not in my best interest over the long term to do it. All I can hope is that in doing the right thing, that maybe somewhere down the line it's going to pay off. It never does with me, ever. I tried to do the right thing when I owned the tattoo studio, and I tried not to overcharge people. I tried to give them a fair price. I tried to work with them, and it ran me out of business. Sometimes I wish that I was not plagued with this moral ideology that I have. I can't do it. I can't make the decision to leave Millis. There's just too many things, And I was on the verge of taking this, I was right there. I was talking to him on the phone, and I was right there. It was on the edge of my lips just to say, yes, I'll take it, And then I lost reception. I was traveling through the mountains in Tennessee, and one minute I was right there on the edge of saying yes. The next minute, my reception just completely cut out, and I lost the call. And I immediately I reached to hit redial to call him back, and then I stopped myself. And I was like, man, I need to think about this. I really need to think about it. And I called a friend of mine with Millis, Michael Johnson, and I talked to him about it for a bit. And I guess he didn't really give me any advice one way or the other. He asked a few questions, but more than anything, he was just kind of a sounding board for me, And I guess that's kind of what I needed. I called my mom and I talked to my mom, and she made a point to me that I took into really heavy consideration. And the point that my mom made was that I don't know anything about this company, good or bad. They could be a great company, and I'm sure they are. I mean, my wife knows the people that are in charge of it, so not the owners, but the people that are in charge of it. So I'm sure they're a good company. They're a local company and they're a smaller company. But I don't know anything else about them other than the people involved. I don't know if they're going to come through with what they say they're going to come through with, but with Millis, I do know, because Millis has already come through. Millis has told me what they were going to deliver, and they've delivered on what they told me they were going to deliver. They've come through on every single thing that they said they were going to come through on. I'm getting good miles. I'm getting good pay. I got good training. I got good quality training from a good quality school. I got my CDL. I've got a good life insurance policy. I'm worth a lot of money if I die. My wife's got a life insurance policy. She ain't worth anywhere near as much if she dies, so I'm gonna keep her around. That was a joke. Seriously. Anyway, I got good health insurance policy. I've got a health savings plan. I've got a good dental, vision. I've got prescription plans. I've got 401k. And they've come through with everything. The miles are good. The equipment is good. The dispatchers are good. And I know how they're going to operate. I don't have the commitment made yet to give me the experience I need to walk away and write my own ticket yet. And so, I took that into consideration. My mom and my dad both agreed. And I've listened to their advice before and not taken it. Because, I'm not the type of person that typically allows people to tell me what to do. I'll ask everybody's advice. I'll take everything they have to say into consideration. Then I'll make my own decision, typically doing what I want to do. And I've ignored my mom and my dad's advice before, and I've paid for it. I'm still paying for it. A good amount of this debt that I'm in right now is because I didn't listen to their advice when they gave it to me the last time. So, after about the third or fourth time of them being right and me being wrong and having to pay for it, I've decided that it's probably in my best interest to really give a little bit of weight to the things that they have to say, and so I'm not going to break my commitment. I'm going to keep it. I hope that somewhere down the line that this decision turns out to be good, because I'm not feeling it right now. I'm just not. I'm making the decision, and I don't like the decision that I'm making, because I need the experience. I really want the job, but I'm not going to break the commitment that I made in order to get it. My ultimate goal is to become an owner-operator. keep my eyes focused on that goal. And in December, March, it'll probably be March. In March of this, December is when my year is up. But, in March, we get a fairly sizable bonus. For me, it's a pretty big bonus. So in March, I'll make the decision to look again. And maybe me making this decision now will pay off then. If not, I don't know. I just really feel that I've done the right thing so many times, and it's never paid off for me ever. I've done the right thing so many times, and I've always got the short end of the stick for doing it. And I'm inclined, honestly, not to do the right thing anymore. To just look out for me, and not do what I need to do, or what I feel like is right to do, but just to look out for me, and make my opportunities and make them right. But something in me won't let me do that, so I'm gonna make that decision. I'm probably gonna call him when I get home and let him know that I'm not gonna come out and talk to him, and let him know that why I'm making the decision that I'm making, and hope that he'll be willing to talk to me when I have the time done that I need to do. I just hope he understands. If not, then I'll have lost that opportunity for good. If he understands that maybe in a year, or 8-9 months or whatever, that safety bonus gets paid. Maybe at that point, making this right decision will pay off for me. I'll let you know next year. As it is, that's the decision I've made. That's my update for right now. I'm upset about making the decision. I know it's the right thing to do, and I'm going to do it because it's the right thing to do. But at the same time, I feel like I've screwed myself yet again. So anyway, that's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. And I'll catch y'all next time.